Okay, so I have another fighter from Akuma Fighting Championship. They call it the Big GC, is what I see everywhere. Backed by popular demand, second highest viewed video on YouTube, just underneath Brian Manning and Sean Kelly
Time.
when they went together. So obviously we talked about we only talked there recently, but you talked about wanting to get on Akuma and wanting to be active. How did this fight come about? Because it wasn't we only talked about it a month ago and it wasn't happening, and now it is. How did this fight come about?
I think it just they had posted a story listing what they had, and then the girl Lena she replied, I think, and put herself forward, and then that was it. Just waited on the coach's confirmation, and then it was good to go.
And how excited were you once you kind of knew it was getting together? Because, like I said, you wanted to be active. We'll talk about how active you're going to be as well. But how excited were you when you got the call?
Well, I kept asking Dar every 2 seconds, like, is it have they accepted yet? No, haven't heard, haven't heard. And then he texted me saying fight's going ahead for Akuma, and I sent him a voice note just squealing down the phone. I was buzzing, so
Uh,
buzzing.
it's a fantastic card. They've got we just talked about before we came on. There's like three female fights on, which is really really good to see. And it's really
Yeah.
good, obviously, for yourself and the other five girls that are involved in these fights. That there is so many options in the future going forward. How are you finding it being in this space in MMA right now when the women's scene is really starting to elevate, and people like Steven having three fights helps it elevate as well?
It's exciting. It's cool. Like normally the couple of shows I've been to, there's been one or none, maybe two at a stretch. So the fact that there's three, or I don't know if it is four, I think it is three, on it's class. Like, and then more going forward. Obviously, there's just going to be more and more. And then obviously male show, it's all female card. Like that's going to be such a good day out. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, it's just really good. I really like what she's done there. I'm going to be going up to that show because I've been a part of Mel's journey for a long
Yeah.
time, and this is just another step in what she's done. I think for females up north, because obviously Neve has done it down south with the
Uh-huh.
Valkyries, and now doing it up north. And like she's got so many fights on it.
Oh man.
She's got you match now as well. She's got a really
Yeah.
good fight with Rachel and Vicky, which is a stomper of a fight.
I know.
How does it feel? Obviously, we're not skipping past Akuma, but how does it feel to be part of that show? It's going to be kind of one of a kind up there with all females. Like, what's that like as a female in
it's
the sport?
it's really really exciting, and like I've been saying to all my friends and all the girls that I know, like, you just need to come. Like, it's going to be a good girls day. She's got a DJ and all coming. It's going to be belter. I can't wait.
It is like she's got so many fights matched at the minute. I'm just looking at it, go, it seems to be going smoothly, but obviously behind the scenes, I know what the promoter's going through. But no, fair play to her. She's after doing it, setting up. She
Yeah.
done that sparring day, and obviously from that she was able to take information and stuff, which would help her match the show. But Akuma, obviously coming up, what was your weight like? Did you have to cut much weight coming up for this show, or are you always near your kind of fighting weight?
I sort of I had my hopes up that it was going to happen anyway, so I did. Then obviously I went after that last fight. I went on a all inclusive holiday, so I did get a wee bit fluffy from that. Um, But I just went straight back into that then in the hopes that it was going to happen. So I wasn't far off, but then women's in their cycle, like, it just went a bit tits up there last week, the week before, but we're finally back down. So all is good. It's calm. We're on point.
Yeah, I've talked to people about that before, and it's just one of those
That's
things that
why.
it's just you can't control it either. You just have to let
No.
it kind of get through and see where you lie after. But it's a
Yeah.
really good show. I'm looking forward to it. But like I said, you are quite active. You're going to be making your amateur debut at your fighting championship. Another show I really, really like, Decky McLean, and is so good to work with, and he's so good at matchmaking. How does it feel? Obviously, you've got this fight coming forward, and we're not looking past your opponent, but how does it feel knowing you're going to be making that amateur step in the not so distant future?
It's nerve wracking a bit because it's like the next stage of like this career that I've just started, and it's like, oh my God, but I'm so excited. Do you know what? I can't wait to ground and pound, like, to the face. I can't wait.
Obviously, it's something you work on in the gym. How hard is it? Because when I watch the novice fights and you see them go to ground, and I do agree with not doing headshots because people
Mhm.
might not go past novice, they might not go past amateur, and you don't want people getting hit in the head. But it looks really kind of bizarre. I don't want to say bizarre, but when you get someone to the ground and you're having to go to the body, like when you're doing that, obviously you do in training, you do the ground pound. How hard is it to hold back your shots from going to the head?
Well, sure, the first fight, she blitzed me and I took her into clinch and then took her down and I hit her in the face then, so I had to stop and get up and start again. And I think then that's sort of taught me my lesson. So that last one, when I did get on top of Caitlin, then I was just hitting her to the body. Like, I don't know, it is a bit weird, but you have to do what you have to do. So I'm so excited just to let loose.
I love it.
Can't wait.
Is it, I find with the body shots, people try and just they throw for the sake of it. But there was someone I watched recently in a novice fight, and they really laid into the body. They put
Mhm.
knees into the body as well, which is
Yeah,
something that you don't really see at novice. I
yeah.
don't know whether it's against the rules or not, but they
No, it's
utilize
not.
it.
When you're on the ground, you can knee and punch to the body. It's just the head. You can't go near the head.
Yeah, no, because the knee, I'd never seen a novice use the actual knee to the body though, and I was sitting there going, "Oh man, that's the hurt in the ribs." But
Spicy
um,
new ones.
you're looking to let loose. You're going to be on your what's it going to be like fighting on a show like that? Obviously, you've seen uh like the likes of Dara and your teammates fight on it, and it's a very good show, one of the best in the country. What's making your amateur debut on that show, or does it matter about the show, or is it just getting the reps in?
It's nice it being on the IER. What do you call it? Your, is that how you
Your
say it?
yeah, yeah,
Your, right. Well,
yeah,
it's nice being on your, because I trained down in Team Torres as well, so I know Jackie and stuff. And I say it from the get go. Even though my first one was on Clan Wars, I couldn't. The first sort of step in my whole manifestation thing was like, I'm going to get on Clan Wars in 2025. So I ticked that off, and then once I done that, I was like, right, I want to get on Jackie's show. And I just think everything happens for a reason, and I'm making my debut on that show because I'm supposed to, and I'm so excited.
yeah, yeah. Everything's falling into place, and then you've got
Yeah.
Mel show as well. So usually when I talk to females, they're talking about trying to find a fight and how hard it is. I don't want to say lucky, but how do you feel excited and happy do you feel that you've got three matches lined up? Because that's very hard to find kind of in the female scene.
I'm buzzing, and I suppose I have sort of been lucky. Like, I only started competing in, when was my first fight? March. I so between March and then the end of September, I'll have had 5 fights, 5 fights in 7 months in my first year competing. Like, that's some going.
Yeah. It is like that. Girls, women are finding it hard to get matched, and sometimes
Mhm.
obviously you're coming in. There seems to be an influx coming in, so I think over the next few years we're going to have a lot of very good, evenly matched
Yeah.
fights with the females as well. And we put out the other day on Instagram, obviously people to ask you questions. So I'm going to ask you a few of these questions here as well. There's
Okay.
no rude ones. There's all where is it? So who do I have first here? What's it like training with guys like Dara Tolman who are known for their intensity?
Whenever you go into sparring on a Sunday and you see Dara wrapping your hands, you're instantly like, oh shit, here we go. Especially if you're on the fight team, because you know he's going to walk rounds with you. But it's a wee bit nerve wracking at the same time, because you know as well, like, he's probably sizing you up a bit, to see where you're at. Like, the first
Yeah.
time I ever sparred with Dara, I remember saying, oh my fucking God. And I think I landed one jab the whole time. But listen, he didn't. Did he tap me out that time? Don't know if he did, but I know the last time I sparred him, he didn't tap me out, so I was like, that's a win. That is a win in my eyes.
Yeah, no,
But it's
Dara
good.
Tolman.
Do you know
Dara
what?
Tolman.
I like sparring with the boys. Like, they don't go, some of them go easy, but you just tell them, like, don't go that easy. I'm a girl, but I'm not going to break. Like, and I think by now, training with them and stuff, they do know that I can take it. So it's nice. And then when I do get to train my girls, then it's even nicer because it's something different.
Yeah, you'd be more like that. You shouldn't be going full force on anyone in training, whether it's a
No,
male,
no.
a male, a male. You need to take care of each other and like that. Do you find it frustrating when they go a little bit softer? You like, come on, just fucking like spar like you'd usually spar.
Yeah, well, the way I say it is like, let me work, but don't try and kill me in the process. Like, I am different to you as well, but let me work, but don't let me win, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get you, I get you. Another question: how do you stay so consistent, and what keeps you motivated?
I suppose motivated wise, I know what I want to achieve. Like, once I sort of got into the MMA and knew I wanted to compete, like, I know I want to go the full way. Like, and I'm 30 now, so not that I'm on a time limit, because I don't think that really matters, but I want to just get going. I want to make it happen quick. Consistency. I think, does anybody ever stay fully consistent? You don't. You just have to have the willpower to be able to say, right, I don't want to do that today, but I have to. Who else is going to make me do it? I have to make myself do it. So you have to do it. And you always feel better after it. So I think once you realize that, once you go to the gym, do that workout, even if it's a shit workout, it's still better than no workout. Do you know what I mean? So, and I know a benefit from it, and I know what the cause is, and I know what I'm trying to reach. So it has to be done.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's not even about motivation. Whereas years ago, everyone said motivation. Now it is discipline more so when you think about it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
no one's going to do it for you. Like no one's
No,
going to get you out of
100%.
bed. They're not going to bring you training. It's up to you. If you want to get to where you want to get to, only you can put the work in it. And that's what makes it quite lonely sometimes and hard. But like I said, it's worth it, especially when it comes fight night and you get your hand raised. But what else do we have here? What does it feel like being a female fighter representing a mostly male-based club?
Well, as I keep saying, I am now the queen of New Era. I'm the only fighting girl, like at the minute on the fight team, and I think the first one that they've had, really. So it's nice, and I do feel a sense of pride, as in like I'm a like trailblazer for the ones in Lurgan. There's no other girl doing MMA in Lurgan, like competing actively. Like Sabina on in our club as well. She's trying to get into it too, like proper. She's got her first fight in male show, so she's obviously hoping to make the walk MMA soon. So that'll be nice for her. But it's just I just feel like I don't know. I'm just the queen. It's great.
The queen, and obviously being the kind of only female competing, that might lead to other girls competing. And how would that make you feel if someone did join the club off the back of what you're doing?
It would make me really, really happy. Do you know what? See, from I sort of started, and because I am quite public on the internet and all, and talking about my fights and my wins, and I do have quite a lot of support, even when I go in for like coffees and things, places, people say to me, "God, are you that girl that does the cage fighting?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And then they'll say, "Oh, is there women's classes on?" And I'm getting more and more people asking. And I've spoke to Dara, like, so after a few amateur fights, I'll maybe start a women's class up and see if we can get a few people in. I just need to figure out what I'm doing first because I still don't have a clue. Like, I'm just winging it.
Everybody's winging it. I'm just winging it in life now the past 40 years nearly as well. So, but yeah, hopefully you will like that because you seen, I think Mel, when she started fighting, she started the women's class, and you see it kind of with the likes of Emer Darcy and all these people in all
Uh-huh.
these other clubs. Once they kind of get up there and they're fighting, and people are realizing that it's there, you don't have to compete. I think that's one of the biggest things. I think people think if you
Yeah.
go to an MMA gym, you have to compete. But like you said, how many women would be in your gym that are there that don't compete? Because I'd say there's a few, is there?
There's only really who would actively train? Probably Sabina and then my friend Zoe. They would train, but they don't compete. Zoe would love to compete, but she's only like 44 kilos. She doesn't make. She's not heavy enough to make the weight. She's a wee
Oh,
leprechaun. She's a wee furry from Cork. She's so funny. But she would love to fight, but she can't. She's trying to put on weight. So hopefully someday.
yeah, hopefully. Because actually, I know a girl like that. I think she's 46 or 48, and she has to come
Mhm.
up to like 52, and then
Yeah.
she's overmatched. What is the next question? Your favorite martial art to train? Jiu-jitsu, wrestling, or striking?
I don't know. I think I'm just an all round MMA. That's what I started doing, do you know, because some people start off obviously kickboxing or Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu and then they filter into MMA. I started just MMA. So I think all round. I loved the jiu-jitsu for a while, like that was my favourite, but now I'm sort of coming into my way with the striking too. I love it as well. I just love it all.
Yeah, because like that years ago, it would have been, like you said, kickboxers or boxers or jiu-jitsu lads, and they would have crossed over to MMA. Whereas
Mhm.
now, when you go to clubs, you do have those separate classes, but there's more MMA classes where like some positions in jiu-jitsu don't work in MMA normally. Do you know that
Yeah.
sort of way because you can strike and stuff like that. So it's mostly MMA classes now, but I wouldn't be one for probably none of them because I'd probably get whooped at all of them. But yeah, you're fighting this weekend as well. Is there anything that you have in store for this one? Like, have you looked at your opponent, or are you just going in to do your own thing?
I don't really look at them. I sort of obviously when they're first sent over, you go and you have a quick look, but I don't fixate on it at all. I think you have to sort of have the mindset that they're going to be as good as you or better, no matter who they are. It doesn't matter what their credentials are. Like, you just have to go in with the mindset that they're going to give you as good as you're going to give, and you just have to be ready for a scrap. Like, you can't undermine anybody. So I don't think there's really much point in looking.
And yeah, like because like you said, if you know from fight to fight, from novice and amateur to like one fight to the next, how much people can improve. Like if you didn't
Oh,
fight for
I
six
am.
months and you were training away, you'd be a completely different fighter, one from the other. So I don't think there's I think there is you look at them a little bit, see what they're good at or what they do all the time. But I think sometimes people fixate too much, and I think you as a fighter need to put your own style and stamp on the fight rather than worry about what someone else is
I
going to
think
do.
if you train enough and you just be prepared for anything, That's what you need to do. You need to be ready for somebody that's a striker. You need to be ready, or they're going to try and take you down. You need to be ready. Is their game going to be ground game? So you need to work on how you're going to get up again or whatever. Like, you just have to be ready for all scenarios. Like, you can't. And you see people sometimes where you look at them and you think, right, they're jiu-jitsu, they've got all these belts or whatever, but then they come out in the strike. So how do you know?
Yeah, no, I've seen fights like that where you expect someone to go to ground and then it
Yeah.
stood up and then it's like, okay, what's going on here? But like that, you have to be ready for everything. Like you said, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything you want to say before you go as well? Good luck this weekend. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be there. I'm still 50-50, but I would love to see you fight in person. Anything you want to say before you go?
Just tune in at the weekend for a show. Big GC's coming.
Perfect. I can't wait to see it, whether it's on pay-per-view or live. I will see it. Thank you again for your time and best of luck, like I said.
No problem, Nardev. Thank you.